to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we only have one agenda item, and that is discussion and possible action to approve or not to approve a limited number of virtual school seats in grades pre-K through 12 provided by an outside vendor for the 2021-22 school year. And Drew, do you have anything you'd like to tell us? Yes, thank you.
So we looked at both Edgenuity and Edmentum. They have similar products, but they're not the same, as we learned when we dug in. Both companies are beginning to get overwhelmed with the number of requests by school districts to do this, because a lot of school districts, Norman being one of them, but they've been with them for years, but a lot of school districts, little and big, have gone to this as their virtual option. And so it's really kind of a flow through. It costs about as much as what we get for a kid, but that's why we are going to require them to stay in for the entire semester. We're going to pay for it by semester. So they'll, it's a commitment on the parents' part too, on the child's part. But we're going to recommend that we go with Edmentum and Ed Options Academy, and we're going to do that kindergarten through 12th grade. Pre-K, Ruben's going to do a little different thing with reading eggs and math seeds, and we're just going to push that out to parents if they want it. Some of the options, some of the things, there will be Edmentum has a helpline for parents, so if they get stuck with the problem with technology or whatever, they can call this helpline. These Edmentum will provide the teacher, so none of our teachers will have to do any work. When the way it'll work for our parents is they will call school, call Mark or one of the counselors or Ruben or whoever, and say, I want my child that's in whatever grade to be in virtual school. So then the counselors will take that, they'll enroll them in virtual school. There's actually there is what do they call it, a parent orientation that they have them go through, so that they kind of know what it is that they're going to do. They actually have 14 day before we get started being charged. So they could jump out at 14 days, but we want our parents to say, we're going in, we're staying in. So we're not saying, you've got a window there, but there is a kind of a little bit of a window. They do all the grading. We can check on the kid anytime. We go into this it's a website called Genius, and we'll log in, and all of our kids will be there, and so we can tell how far along they are and what their current grade is. Their Edmentum's teachers are required to live contact a kid every week, and they encourage us to at least monthly, we'll do it more than monthly, contact them just to say, hey, we're looking at your stuff. Looks like you're doing well in social studies, but you're a little bit behind in math. What is, you're a Bronco, and we gotta do this, and they have to finish that throughout the week. Let's see if I have anything else. There will be the worst part about it. The one that we didn't go with wouldn't enroll kids, period, in an elementary. Elementary level, they weren't even taking new kids. So we couldn't even do it with them if we wanted to. And we and we looked at trying to maybe get our teachers to do it. at like $500 a kid, but when we got into that, Ruben and I figured out pretty quickly that that was gonna be a quagmire. So we just stay away from that. So this is probably the best, definitely the best choice. It won't be seamless. There will be some problems. One of the things is we can get, so let's say a high school kid, they're having trouble getting teachers, so they may get your English enrolled in a day or 2 or 3, and the kid may start on English, but they're still not enrolled in math because they don't have a teacher yet. And they said it could take up to 3 weeks to get a kid enrolled in all their classes. Now, the good news for a kid that's in English or whatever, whenever they get that first course, they don't just do that for that week. They can go all the way through that, so they can be working hard to get through that whole course. And they said some people do it like that. They have them do all their English, then they release the math, do all that. We're going to release it all at once, so they can stay up with it. $1,600 a semester. It's a little discount if you buy it for the year, but we have no idea. So we're just going to have to pay the premium, which is $200 extra a year. And the very best part, the thing that I was happiest with Edmentum about is that we have we have to tell them how many we want. Let's say we buy 20 seats high school, 20 seats elementary. If we only use 10 seats, we can use the other half of those in second semester. So we don't, but let's say that we didn't have enough people in first and second semester, they'll roll over to next year. So we never lose that money and we never lose that seat. We always have that in perpetuity until such times we use it up. It doesn't go away, it's a lifetime. That wasn't the case with the other one either. It was a 1-year deal, this semester, next semester. So other than that, we're going to ask as part of the motion that you give me the authority to sign off, so we don't have to have you come back and sign when all we're going to do is we have to have a PO, and then we have to give them the PO. They write a quote, and then I have to sign it. Normally that would be you, but we're going to make that part of the deal. So what questions do y'all have?
How many students currently are interested in using the option? Y'all have no feel on that?
Yeah, we haven't been discussing it. It's just been so recent. So yeah.
Well, gauging from inquiries.
I've had 2 families kind of inquire, kind of bring it up, but
Out of the entire, early childhood through, that's all.
yes, but again, it's not been an option, so a lot of them may just not think, why ask, if it's not an option. So
2 or 3.
But I've had 2 kind of express, maybe question, why is it going to be an option? Why is it not an option? Things like so. 2 families.
No.
So,
I've had 3 or 4 families, 2 of which are the same ones Ruby's talking about that contact us both. Total of about 10 kids, and they're all middle school and elementary aged kids. I think the number's going to stay relatively low for 2 reasons. One, kids want to be here. Elementary, middle, and high school, they want to be here. It's a rare kid. There are some kids out there. I think Ruby was one of them that was okay with not being virtual, right? Yeah. There are some kids that are like that, but not very many. Most of them are social and want to be here. The other thing is, it's a commitment to go a whole semester like that. So, it may look tough right now, but, this thing's gonna start going down sometime. I don't know when it's gonna be. So, I don't see us having a great number, but I could be dead wrong.
do they, this is my question too, so let's say somebody decides in October that they want this option. Do they prorate the $1,600 semester? Okay.
They do not. And they don't prorate the amount of work they have to do. So they have the whole year, the whole semester of work to do in a shorter amount of time.
So work that they would have done here on site will not
Won't
apply.
count for that.
Will parents be told that up front, and students, they'll know,
In
they'll be
their-
aware of that?
But there are, kind of some exemption options where you have units where you have pre-tests.
Okay.
So if you can
Okay.
test on the pre-test, then you've got mastery of different skills, then you can start further down the line.
Okay.
But it's not like they just cut it off. You've got to prove that you know those things before you shorten the
Yeah.
term.
Yeah, thanks for
makes
telling
sense.
that, Mark. I forgot about that.
Yeah. What's the process? I guess parents would call the school, talk to principal or counselor, and then is there a lag time? You mentioned there would be time with the company possibly before the kids got enrolled in the classes. What can the parents expect? Like,
So
I guess is what.
it could be up to 3 weeks before they get all of their classes. They might get their first teacher in class in 2 or 3 days, but don't plan on it. Plan on the 2 or 3 week timeline. And so they'll call us, and they can stay with us until they get that first class.
Okay.
And they could, stay, they may not want to. We'll work with them on that, but it is not within our control of when that happens.
How many are we?
She wants a number, and we can go over, but she said it's for planning for them too, so they can pick the number of teachers. I think I'm going to do 20 and 20, 20 elementary, 20 secondary, and we'll just see. I really don't have a clue. I haven't talked to a single secondary parent. You said I guess I talked to that one middle school parent. So I don't see a lot of them going for it, but they might.
Okay. Are we just waiting on them to call us, or are we
Yeah,
gonna?
no, I'm sending out a letter, an email on Monday that says that if you guys vote for this, then it'll say to call the principals or counselors if you're interested in this, or even if you want more information.
Okay, what's our high end if you do that, and then all of a sudden now it's an option and you get 40?
You know what I would like to put, that's what I put in the agenda item, a limited number.
Yeah.
I think that I'd want to cap that at 100 total.
Okay.
And I talked to Andy, we can do that. There are other schools that do that. I would be stunned, but I've been stunned before if we get anywhere close to that.
No, I don't think so either, because you're not getting the calls, but we have told them it wasn't an option.
Right. Right.
So if we've identified 10 right now, you send out the letter, and do we tell them that we want 40 like right now, or do we wait till the parents tell us and we kind of gauge that and then tell them?
They want it now so they can do the quote and we can get the process started.
Okay.
So I'll tell them, and that's just a guess, they know they're not gonna hold me to it they'll hold us on the short side.
Mhm.
That's why I'm guessing low, because really what that would be would 10 this semester, 10 that next semester for both groups. We're gonna have to pay for that. So whatever I say, we gotta pay for that. But anything over that, they'll enroll. They're not gonna be happy if we go way over that, but they'll enroll.
So we've got to have a pretty good guesstimate.
Yeah, and it
At
is
that
a
time.
true guesstimate, because
Yeah.
we just don't know other than what we've heard. We'll see. Anything you guys want to add that I didn't?
And we'll reevaluate it next year, I'm assuming, to say if this is still, I mean, there's so many things up in the air, but
you know,
That's a good point.
yes, we will certainly reevaluate. This is gonna cost us, if we do 40 times,
3,200.
16.
16.
16.
$64,000 is what we're committing to today.
Just for the first semester.
Well, we can use the first or second.
First year, that's
Yeah.
both semesters.
If we only have enough, I mean,
Yeah.
that is first semester or second semester, whatever, just depends on how many more. If we use up all those 40 slots in the first semester, it means we have 40 kids in there, then we gotta buy some more second semester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
And the curriculum, in doing the research, I saw that we could build our own curriculum, and we would just match what we have here versus like the different classes that are available, because I saw they had like specials, if you will, and some other things that are a little above and beyond maybe that we do here, but I would assume that we would just match the classes that we have here.
yeah, as best we can.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
One thing I might add is at the elementary level in our meeting, I mean, it's rigorous, it's intensive, it's not a program they're gonna get on for 15, 20 minutes a day, which I like that because these kids are gonna come back to us at some point. But they also, as he mentioned, that the orientation is gonna be important because it's not going to be, you know, put your elementary child on a computer and walk away and everything's gonna be great. So it's gonna be a commitment for families who want to do this. I think it's a good commitment, you know, if that's what they're willing to do, but it's also not gonna be, you know, it's not gonna be easy. And that's a good thing, and it could be challenging for parents, but we'll make sure to communicate that up front in the orientation and through the letters that this is gonna take some work at home, so.
Well, there's a 14-day grace period, right? I think I read. And what option are we going to give if they get in a month and they're like, we just want to come back? There's not an option for that.
There's no option. And that's gonna be a hard line because we're paying this money, the district is paying this money, and so we're gonna make them sign off that they're committing to a semester. And, you know, life's about choices ultimately. This $64,000 that we're spending, we're not gonna recoup any of that through savings of those kids not being here. We're still paying all the teachers, turning on all the lights, doing all the things. We're doing this because we think it's the right thing to do for these parents that are, you know, nervous about this, but to reciprocate, you gotta hold your end of the bargain.
Yeah, I think setting those expectations is very important, and understanding that it's going to be a little different than a Bethany education. It is, like Ruben said, very strenuous.
And I think the parents that are willing to seek that out then are willing to
Yeah.
to go with that level of commitment, I would think.
Anybody have any more questions, or do we have a motion? We do have the
Who's making the motion?
specifics.
I can't. Move approval to purchase, or you want to use this one? Move
You gotta do
approval
both.
to approve a limited number of virtual school seats in grades pre-K through 12 provided by an outside vendor, Edmentum, for the 2021-22 school year, and also to give our superintendent authority to sign the agreement with the selected vendor, Edmentum.
Roll call vote.
Jaggers.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Palmer.
Yes.
Pettit.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. We can adjourn. Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's right. As we